Borderline personality disorder. Today, I would like to start with a huge request. I would like to give my roommate a little bit of financial assistance for all the kindness that he has shown me by letting me live here. Unfortunately, getting a job has been something that has been quite difficult. So my request to anybody that likes my videos and would like to help out is for a $1 donation to my PayPal. I can then take that and I can give it to my roommate as thank you for all the kindness he's shown me. There's a link in the description below. If everybody were to just donate $1, it would be amazingly helpful. Don't feel like you have to or anything. Like I said, this is just a small request, just a favor. I really just think he deserves a little bit of financial compensation for all the help he's given me. Well, with that out of the way, we can move on. I'm very frustrated with the not being able to hold up my end of responsibilities, especially when it comes to what I should be paying in rent and utilities, all of that. Everything costs money, and I realize this. And I do not believe that I am above paying my way. I don't believe that I should get a free ride. I don't believe anybody should take care of me. That being said, I've had the hardest of times finding ways of bringing in money. I've even thought of doing the most unthinkable, worst thing humanly imaginable and getting a job, becoming a slave. That I could do though. I could be a slave. I've done it before. What's 50 hours out of my week really? It's just 50 hours that I don't need. I've had lots of job interviews, and where everything falls apart is the background check. Every time we get to a background check, I go to the interview, I win them over, they like me, I know the job's a shoo-in. Then they just let me know that all they've got to do is a background check and they'll get back to me. And then I never hear from them again. This whole needing a background check to go work at McDonald's, I think, is a bunch of bullshit, for one. Whatever happened to the good old days of just trusting your instincts when hiring? I wouldn't run a background check on anybody if I were to do hiring. I have done hiring. I've had jobs where that was my job, was to hire people. They wanted me to hire people because I was damn good at it. About 90 to 80% of everybody I hired stayed with the company for a year or more. They were all good workers. They weren't thieves. I never ran background checks on anybody I hired. I used the old-fashioned method. I would interview them. I would give them a real interview. I would throw out some tricky questions. I would really take my time. I would interview a lot of people as well. I went with my gut instinct on who I would hire. My gut was always right, well, 80 to 90% of the time. Now jobs don't even try. The interview process is a joke most of the time. You go in and all they want to know is, are you willing to work these days? Are you willing to work these hours? They don't really ask you any questions, anything real, significant. Because now they all rely on their background check to tell them who to hire. If you were to look at my background, I don't look like the most pleasant of people. I don't hide it. I don't hide anything in my background. On my application, I always tell them that I have committed crimes. I have been a drug addict. I have gone to drug rehab. I let them know that most of the years have been very chaotic. I was not the best of people. I don't write this all down in my application. When it asks if I've committed a crime, I simply write, "We'll explain at interview." No need though, because once I go to the interview, they don't care. They're not going to ask me about it, and even if they do, It'll be just like the application. They'll just ask me if I've committed a crime. I'll tell them. I'll want to explain it, and they'll, oh, no, we'll just wait for the background check. Well, the background check doesn't explain anything. It just says that I'm a criminal. It does not give any insight as to why these crimes were committed, nor does it give any insight into who I am now, the person that I am now. So they just see, all they see is somebody that had a drug problem, committed a lot of crimes, and I don't get the job. It's pretty bad when I can't get a job at McDonald's. In the area I'm living in, there's not very many places to apply to. Very small area. I've applied to all the jobs that I can apply for. Been rejected by all of them. Well, not rejected. They all wanted to hire me, but then that background check. Well, since getting an actual real slave job has been so far unattainable, I've looked into online work, where that is just, all online work is a bunch of scams. It's a lot of scams. It's not real work. The only thing that I found that might be real work would be transcribing. That's what it is. Doing transcribing. I unfortunately do not type fast enough. Also, I'm not a good enough speller for that. So those jobs have turned me down. Then you've got your online surveys that say they'll pay you, but that's a joke. I've not yet to find any of these online survey things that are legit. Plus, they don't want to survey a single male with no kids. I get turned down for all the surveys. All the rest of them are just pyramid schemes and whatnots. I would think they would have some call service, customer service jobs, but I have yet to find them. I just find lots of scams. Fan funding. I have my Patreon, and I love my patrons, and I thank them all. We just need more. More patrons would be awesome. I've also set up a way where people can do one-time donations through PayPal if they want. That is in the link as well as the Patreon link. I know this may just sound like me being on the pity pot, me begging for money, but it's really not like that. I am thinking about going down to the corner, though, and flying a sign. See how long I could do that before the cops harass me. I just don't want to feel like a freeloader anymore. That's where I'm at. I want to give my roommate some money. But I'm feeling like it's just one more thing that's getting to me, that's bugging me. My roommate thinks that I'm doing something good here with this YouTube thing, so he hasn't harassed me much. He's under the belief this YouTube thing's going to take off, and that in a couple years he can quit his job and I can support him. Now that would be awesome, and I hope so. It's definitely a long, tedious process. Well, that's about as much of my pity pot story that I want to tell today. I would like to know if any of you are having the same difficulties finding employment, or have had the same difficulties finding employment. Is there any advice you have for anything online that pays, or how to get around that stupid background check? Let me know in the comments section below. If you're not yet subscribed, right now is the perfect opportunity. The subscribe button's right there on the screen. Just go ahead and click it. We are going for 500, 1,000, 5,000 subscribers. Then we're taking over the world. Yes, we're taking over the world one subscriber at a time. So join us. Get on board. Don't worry, we're not a cult. Not yet. We're working on it. Until next time, keep on keeping on.